Your favorite toy truck nerds are back. Welcome to That Scale RC Show.
Hey guys, what's up, and welcome back to this week's episode of That Scale RC Show. We are on episode 102. I'm one of your hosts, Adam, alongside with Jeremy and Travis. What's up, guys?
Howdy.
Howdy.
Not a whole lot. We're just working and doing the usual.
Yeah, I was going to say, how are you doing? I know you've had to kind of step back, and that's kind of why we've been a little quiet for a while.
Yeah, no, I'm doing really good. I feel great. So they got my blood pressure figured out, and I feel good, and I have lots of energy now. And yeah, so business as usual again. It's going crazy not having stuff to do.
Yeah, I could only imagine.
Yeah.
I will apologize real quickly if I sound like, nasally or anything. I'm getting over a cold, and so I'll just apologize now.
We got allergy season in full effect up here with pollen all over everything, and
it's very possible that it could be partially pollen induced, because I don't know how it is up there for you, but here in California, it's like, so last week, I want to say like Tuesday, it was like 88 degrees. Then it was like a steady decline, and then all of a sudden by Thursday it just dropped, and the next thing you know, it was like a high of like 62, and we're like, okay. And then it kind of hovered around high 60s, low 70s until today. It was a high of 88, and tomorrow is supposed to be a high of 94, and then we're supposed to drop back down to 62 on Saturday.
That's Dude, crazy.
Our weather can't make up its mind. It's like beyond bipolar.
It's how it's been up here. It looks like it was going to be nice, but it's been like low 40s and stuff at times. It's been crazy.
It's been terrible. And we're getting like a nice day today and tomorrow, and then it's going to be rain for another week. And then, it's been rough. Like when it's been nice, it's been nice. But yeah, it's I've also noticed that though too, where like my allergies at night are just getting horrible, and I wake up and have to go through half a box of Kleenex before I can breathe again.
This is always like the longest part of the year too, because you're like just so over the rain and the wind and everything else, and you just are ready for summer. But it feels like you're just waiting. Yeah, because
but it's like already here.
Yeah, it's gonna be like May before it quits raining. So it's like, dude, we got forever. I mean, months still. So yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be crazy.
For me, it's like I'm actually like wishing we'd have more of a buffer, because we get pretty much hit with two seasons, summer or winter. There is no spring, there is no fall. It's literally like we'll have cold weather, and then all of a sudden it'll just be hot. There's no like, hey, we're going to be 70 degrees for like a month or two so you can get like acclimated to everything. It's like, nope, we're just going to turn on the heater, and that's the end of it. You're done. And then we literally have that all the way up till about like October. Then it gets like kind of like a gradual, maybe a week of like cooling down, and then boom, next thing you know, we get hit with like a winter front, and then it's cold. That's it. There's no like, hey, like I said, there's no buffer. So it just sucks, because I literally, what was it? Back in the beginning of January, I had COVID, so now I have this cold, and it's literally been just in my nose. So I don't know. Like I said, I've taken tests for work, just because I try to do somewhat of a my part, and I don't want to be getting anybody else sick if I can prevent it. And every morning I've been taking a test and comes back negative. So, but it's mainly just my nose.
Weird.
So I think it was like Friday after work, all of a sudden I started feeling like kind of stuffy, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. And then Saturday I woke up and I couldn't breathe out of my nose, and I'm like, oh, great.
Not fun.
Not at all.
Travis will get you some Vicks and he'll rub it on your chest for you. He'll get you feeling better and make you some soup.
That is not true.
You guys
Clockwise,
watch
not
Brady Bunch.
counterclockwise.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so that's really about it. And then sold the 50 to Dan Sutherland.
Nice.
So yeah, so like one of those sad things. It's like, you know, I love that bike. That bike was awesome. It's just it's sat for the last like 6 years.
Yeah. We haven't touched our pit bikes since we moved up here, so I'm going to sell those too. Are you going to buy another SEX6 with the money from it?
No, that basically is covered. That basically I guess that basically reimburses my SCX6. No, actually, I got to get 2 batteries for the Duramax, so half of that money is probably going to batteries.
Ouch.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it has 2, doesn't it?
Yep, diesels have 2.
That's so stupid.
What it's only because it's actually a trip. I didn't know this until I actually watched somebody do a demonstration video. So if you took straight diesel fuel and you poured it like on the ground and you took a lighter, it won't light.
Yeah, no, it's oil.
And then you take fuel, do the same thing, it'll ignite. Because the heat, or what is it, the temperature that it combusts, the combustion temperature is like 3 times higher with diesel. So I believe that's why you need 2 batteries to start, because you need to get that, you know, the initial ignition going. Then after that, I believe you're just running on 1 battery.
Does yours have glow plugs still?
So there's still glow plugs, but the way these things are designed now, you can just get in and instantly start it.
That's trippy.
So there's no more turn the key, let the glow plugs warm up, fire it up. It's turnkey. You just get in, fire it up. So I don't know how they do that. There's like something, I don't know. I'd have to look it up if you want the honest answer. Like, I'm still kind of new to diesel, but I did kind of know that much about it, that there's no longer having to wait for anything, you know, glow plugs to warm up. It's just turn the key and it fires right up. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So the only downfall with modern diesels, it's like twofold. It's like, honestly, I think I'm getting a little old, because I don't mind not having a noisy diesel. Like when you're going down the road, it's not like, you know, you're not hearing a bunch of whistle out the tailpipe and, you know, super obnoxious. But at the same time, it's like that whole regen process is just so annoying. I can't tell you, like with my truck, I think it goes, from what I've read on the forums, there's a couple ways that it monitors when it needs to go into regen. One is by actual soot accumulation in the DPF. The other one is supposedly like on miles. It'll roughly say, oh, it's been about X amount of miles, we don't want to plug up, so we're going to put you in regen. Because mine's almost like clockwork. About once a week, usually around the beginning of the week, either Monday after work or Tuesday on the way to work, my truck will kick in to regen, and it just drives me nuts, because it's like, I gotta go, because I'm one of those, I go and drive it until it's out of regen, so it's done with its with its deal, because if you don't, it'll just keep trying to do that every time you fire it.
Oh, lame.
Mm-hmm. And then eventually it'll try so many times, it'll kind of force you. A message will pop up saying you have to stay running until this is over, because you can, clog the DPF or whatever. So
weird.
Yeah, all the new stuff is just it's really weird. That's like really my only gripe about it. Other than that, like, it's funny because it's like I could pull up to the job site, and if my truck's running, you could still have a conversation next to it. It's not super noisy. Yeah, you can tell it's a diesel when you're standing next to it, but not like, for instance, there's a guy who's doing all the, I guess, cabinetry and the wine bottle holders and all that stuff in the wine cellar at our job up in Woodside, and he's got a 7.3 Power Stroke, and that thing, it's like firing up a tractor. You know, the thing fires up and it's just like, and you're just like, holy crap. And it's like night and day difference. Like what the two, you know, and that wasn't even that long ago. I think because he's got the newer body style, it's gotta be an early 2000s. So like a 2001, 2002, because I believe the 7.3, I think 2002 was the last year of a 7.3. But yeah, it's crazy. Because it's like, yeah, it was like 20 years ago. So, you know, that's how much they've changed stuff. And it's kind of actually happened pretty quick because I think 2010, 2011, they introduced, I think the DPF system, but they didn't start introducing regens until about 2014 or 15. So it's like one of those slowly evolving, you know, things.
Yeah.
But anywho, enough about real vehicles. We're here to talk about scale vehicles.
Little tiny ones.
Little tiny ones.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, it's actually something kind of new that we haven't actually got to talk about. The new SCX 24.
I was very surprised that it was a hard body.
I was surprised it was a hard body too. That kind of like blew my mind, but you know, it was funny because I had a conversation with Elio and he was like super excited. He's like, dude, it's a hard body. And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty cool. I said, you know, I didn't expect that. And he goes, do you know what this means? And I go, what? And he goes, they could be releasing 1/10 in hard body. I said, I don't know. I said,
God, that'd be an expensive car.
That's the first thing I see. We think alike. Yeah. I'm like going, man, we're going to see RC four-wheel drive prices if they release a hard body. Because I said, you got to think about it. The mold for a 1/24th scale body can't be that expensive. You know, I mean, I'm sure it's more expensive, obviously, than running a Lexan, but, you know, it's not as expensive as, you know, 1/10. So I was like, I just don't see it. But, you know, we could be proven wrong. Who knows?
I think it'd be cool if they did it, but it's like the body is such a deciding factor for people, and every time you come out with a new one, it's, oh great, another Toyota, or oh great, another Jeep, and pretty soon we're going to be hearing, oh great, another Bronco, you know, because it's like we got several manufacturers now all spitting out the same things, and yeah, I don't know, people would just, that'd be tricky. I don't think I would want to be the guy at Axial to like pick what body it's going to be for their very first hard body, because I don't know, people are just so picky. What do you do?
Well, it's funny you say that because the Finnish carpenter at our job, he's into RC, and we always BS around lunch, and I go, hey, did you hear about the new SCX 24? And he goes, no. And I said, yeah, it's a Bronco. And he goes, new or old? And I said, the new body style. And I said, and it's hard body. And he goes, didn't Traxxas already do that? And I was like, no. And it was just funny because it's like, he's like, yeah, they have the newer body style. I said, yeah, they might have the new body style, but I said it's Lexan.
And it's got an interior.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. I noticed the interior before I noticed the fact that it was a hard body.
Yeah. And I mean, it was just funny because it's like, you know, he was like, wait a second. He goes, that's already been done before, you know, which kind of brings up what we were just talking about, the whole, how do you pick what body to do? I mean, it was kind of cool that they went with the newer Bronco because there still is some hype behind that.
Yeah.
Because that, you know, because the real thing just got released. So, which makes me wonder, it's like, when that body style started coming out, did they go, because, you know, we had that conversation with, wasn't it, who was it? Was it Randall or was it John Schultz, where they said it, or was it Brad Geck, how long it takes to go into production, like when they start coming up with these ideas?
Yeah, that was Randall.
That was Randall? That's what I thought. Yeah. So, I mean, like, they could have, you know, what did like they go, hey, let's do a new body style Bronco and we're gonna make it hard body. You know, like how long ago did they have to say that?
Yeah, really. Dude, the pictures of this thing, they should have picked better pictures for this at A-Main. Dude, it's like overspray and paint chipping off of the fender flares and stuff. Like, I would not have used these for product photos. This is, you got to check it out. It's the little white one. Like anywhere where white meets black is like jagged paint lines and stuff. I mean, I get it that it's a 24 scale, but it's also $160.
Yeah. You know what's funny is...
You see that picture?
No, I'm scrolling through their, you know, what's new, and it's not even in the what's new, at least not on the first 2 pages. I have to actually just search it in the search bar.
The red one doesn't look as bad, but man, that white one, they should have opened a different car because that one was made on a Friday. I like that it's got like little scale accessories on the roof and stuff and a spare tire. It's a really cool little car. They did a good job aside from masking it. Got the blue ones all messed up too.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean.
Dude, the white ones are really bad though.
And honestly, the price is not bad considering it's like what 110-ish, almost 120 for a, you know, a Lexan one, and you're getting for like, you know, $50 more, you're getting a hard body.
Yeah, no, I think it's absolutely worth it. I mean, they did a really nice job.
Looking at it now, I think that's a new. I know the front definitely is, probably both. Those are different bumpers. It's not like the other SCX 24s where they keep recycling the same bumpers.
Oh,
the Deadbolt and the Jeep have the same bumpers.
Speaking of bumpers and Broncos, did you see the one that Ty's building right now?
I'm not sure. Let me go look.
Dude, he's doing a hard body enduro Bronco build, and it's a 2-door, and he's got sliders that hold the body on and everything. He made different bumper mounts so that it could use the Traxxas Bronco bumpers, because the Traxxas Bronco, those bumpers fit the New Bright hard body Bronco with very minimal sanding and filing. It looks really, really good. That'll be an exciting one to see finished. I'm surprised I didn't get more excited about 24th scale.
Well, it's kind of weird because like I have my 24th scale, the Jeep. Well, I have a handful of them, but I'm like the Jeep was the first one I actually spent some money on it, and I just like, you know, it's like it's cool, but I don't know where, like honestly don't know where to run it. You know, everybody runs it inside the car, like their house and everything, you know, but
that's fun for like 30 seconds and then I'm over it.
Exactly.
The last time I drove any of our 24 scale ones was my Enduro, and I drove that the day before the night runner launch. So it's been not a year, but a while. Haven't even touched it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to look for that because I don't see... I'm scrolling through his post, unless it's on his Instagram.
Should be.
I'm like already down to like the beginning of March and I haven't seen anything.
Well, it might be under his Ty Teakin Campbell one.
Ty Teakin Campbell. Oh.
Or Teakin Ty Campbell or something. He has like a Teakin one that's his personal, but not his like away from work personal.
Okay, yeah, there it is. I didn't even know he had this. to be honest. It's like it's a page.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's not like his profile, it's a page.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Cool looking, huh?
Yeah.
I do really like those bumpers. Traxxas does a lot of color options on their cars. You notice that?
Yeah.
Like, Axial's probably the next down that has a bunch to choose from.
Yeah. What else? Yeah, then it was kind of funny. I mean, I could probably double check again right now while I'm on here. Actually, I wonder if they. It was funny because like in the Homes Hobby page, they announced that they had the Mamba Micro. I think it was version 2s or something like that. Like just hit the website, and the post was like maybe an hour old when I saw it, and I hopped online because I've been waiting to get one for my stubby, and it was already sold out.
Really?
This is ridiculous.
Man, Traxxas's bumpers are cheap.
I could pre-order from A-Main.
Do it. Buy some of our stuff too while you're in there.
All right, what would you like me to buy?
Lots of trailing arms.
And link
Lots of trailing arms?
And link racers, yeah.
Will they bolt onto my SCX-10?
Sure.
Define bolt on.
I'll have to modify it.
You'll be able to put a bolt through it and then through another hole somewhere else on the car, no problem.
If it fits, it sits.
Yep. I mean, it may be like, hanging off of a link or something, but it'll be there. It'll fit.
Yeah. Sure, why not?
Dude, the taillight assemblies for that Traxxas Bronco Lexan body are amazing looking. And the headlights look like miniature real ones. Those are actually just cool looking parts. Like the way, like they come assembled, they're not on a parts tree or anything. And honestly, like the way that they have them sitting and stuff, it looks like you're looking at like a little set of like Spider automotive lights or something. So I'm just thumbing through TRX4 Bronco parts right now, just because it's kind of on the brain because Ty's got one. And then we have a hard body here too. And so I'm going to take that thing and probably just make it like just a straight up wheeler or something instead, because I don't really want to build like a street legal version like what Ty's doing.
Oh, okay.
Probably make something a little bit different. I kind of want to do just because you don't really see it a whole lot other than like one-to-ones, but I kind of want to do a Bronco build that has the fenders maybe cut a little bit and stuff and like some burlier tires and just make it look like just a tough looking wheeler, instead of just mall crawler.
Yeah.
But do something cool. Do like a cool color on it or something like that, and just kind of make it rough, like no mirrors or anything, and just make it look like something somebody built and would just trailer it to go wheeling.
Yeah, no, that would look really cool.
So I've seen a couple people here lately that have done two-door Jeep builds, and I think they're rad. Like they're using the Tamiya two-door Jeep hard body, and they look really, really good. But you see that stuff everywhere, and you see Broncos everywhere. So I was like, well, either I'll give the body to Ty, or we'll just make something that's really tough looking out of it. So probably do that, put an interior and stuff in it.
There you go. That'd be cool. I still got to get going on my, the heavy Chevy replica, but like I said, still waiting on axles. I mean, yeah, I'm still waiting on my axles. So I got to talk to, Nick, see what's going on with those.
Did you see, where was it? Vanquish is selling the Phoenix axles separate as a kit now. And they come with brass tubes and everything.
No, I did not know. I did not see that.
Yeah. Rear's 120 and the front's 140.
Huh.
for their plastic portals, and you buy it as a kit. Comes with bearings, everything. It's super smart. Because honestly, like, I would put those on that moon buggy build. Like, those are perfect. The plastics that are going to perform good. They have brass tubes. They don't look stupid. They actually look really nice.
Yeah, I'll have to look at those. Maybe I can adapt those. I don't know.
You were going portals on yours, right?
Not for the heavy Chevy replica.
Oh, that's the comp one you're doing portals on, right?
Yes.
Did you do the used your SCX-10 ones on it, didn't you?
So the SCX-10 yeah. So the SCX-10 I put the SSD
straight axles.
Yeah, the straight axle, the trail. What is it? The diamond ones. The trail.
Diamond Pro.
The Diamond Pro. And then I took those, the stock ones that came with the SCX-10 and now those are on the comp style rig, which is waiting on an ESC. But like I said, I might just steal something I have laying around.
Actually, I couldn't use those on the moon buggy because they don't have a servo mount. And you could probably make one since it's got an offset pumpkin. It'd be super easy to make one probably, but it'd actually be cheaper to go, well, just barely, but you could put SSD portal knuckles on element axles. That would work.
Yeah, like I said, I just want something that's like an offset looking,
Is it Capra's offset or is it centered?
Capra's centered, but it's portal.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people are using Capra axles too on comp builds.
So let me see here. Because I can't walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. I got to look it up online.
It's hard.
It
I'm
is.
gonna judge you.
Okay, so... Oh, yeah, that's right. So those are... That's right, they are portal. The F10s. See, I can't keep track of what vehicle has portals and which one doesn't.
Right. They look good though, huh?
They do.
A big good axle.
I'm almost half tempted to just throw those SCX-10 straight axles underneath there. I bought when Tower was doing that deal for like $110 for the full kit, the complete axle. I bought them.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
Nice.
so they're still sitting in the box. So
Right on. I just realized I never turned any of the fans or anything off in here.
Oh,
it's okay.
I thought it was just.
I don't even notice it. I was gonna say I don't really notice it. You probably hear the fucking train going by right now, anyways.
Oh yeah, I hear the train.
Yeah, it never especially now when I don't know what it is. It's like when it gets closer to summer, it gets like super obnoxious, and it's like almost like they have to like increase the volume or something. Like I don't know. It's like, oh, is there more people out or something? Because usually it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I think I
And
just
the
figured.
sad thing is,
Sorry.
The sad thing is that train's like probably, I want to say 4 blocks ish away from me, and that's how loud you hear it.
Trains, that sound carries a really long ways, though. Those things are crazy.
So, but whatever. I tried to mute it earlier, but we kept talking, so I just asked.
Who cares? So, Killer Body has a safari style Defender body that looks very similar to what the Dingo was. They have that in a couple options now, which is cool. Looks like they've got a tan one with some cool white stripes on it, and then a silver one. Those look pretty good. Did I talk about the rock bouncer I built, or no?
The rock bouncer, the
one I posted on the picture. Have we talked about that thing at all?
I don't
think
believe
so.
so.
Oh. Yeah, so just a brief rundown. I'll post some pictures up on the page at some point, but I did another spare parts build like what I did for the Moon Buggy with just stuff that was laying around, and I had an axial rift cage here that I had dyed and it didn't take the way I wanted, and so it was pink instead of red. And so I just dyed the thing black because that was the easiest way to cover it up. And I had some Gatekeeper stuff here, and so I was able to make a 13.5 wheelbase Gatekeeper chassis with an axial rift cage. And the way that it all sits together, it let the transmission be up like under the dash on it. So like the weight is positioned really, really good. And I was able to do seats in it and a driver and steering wheel and seatbelt harnesses and do like a full on like full Dollhouse 1.9 Southern Rocks Bouncer build. So it turned out kind of cool. Should be really fun. It's got a 4S Tecan system in it, so it should be a little ripper.
Nice.
So it should be fun. But yeah, that was a good time. It was a lot of planning, trying to get those two things together, just like that Moon Buggy was. Whenever you're doing stuff that's not meant to go together like that, it's just hiding electronics and routing wires and everything else is just such a nightmare. But I actually put a little scale LS7 in it under the hood and stuff in front of the battery and limit straps and stuff. It was fun. It was kind of a neat thing to do. It looks a lot more scaled than the Rift does, just because those 2.2s are giant on those.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's really about it. That's really the only scale thing I've done. And that's been a project that's been going on for a couple months now, but it's finally wrapped up for the most part. I'm unhappy with how I did the seat harnesses, the way that they attach to the chassis, so I'm going to redo it and make it look a little bit nicer. But aside from that, it's done and it's ready to drive. So I'm kind of just watching the weather, hoping that we get a break here soon so I can go film it and get some pictures and roll it over, because that's about all those guys do with those things.
Yeah.
Some of those guys that you watch, it's just like no fear whatsoever. Like, and I don't know if it's good or bad, but I mean, like, some of the guys seem like they're probably driving a little bit over their heads, like just trying to get some. And I don't know, it's entertaining, it's fun to watch, but man, oh man, do they just, those rolls and stuff, I mean, they're always breaking wheels and snapping axle tubes, and oh my god, it's crazy. Things just get absolutely hammered on. I wonder what inspired that look. You know how like all of those rock buggies have like a very like long cab to the rear chassis, like a Dodge Viper or old Corvettes and stuff, how it's just all nose, and they look like a Ronald McDonald shoe. Like that's how like rock bouncers look like. They're just super, super nose heavy. And I wonder why they made them look like that versus how like high tech and like fast looking Ultra 4 cars look.
I think it might actually have to do with kind of like strength. I bet you they probably started like just somebody started building something and they're like, well, we want this to kind of sit low, so we're low center of gravity, and they're probably like, well, we need this thing to be super strong, so they probably just kept building. It's like one of those things that's like evolving, and then I think somebody probably just kept building until it kind of like got to where it was, and they're like, yep, that's the shape, that's what we need, because that's that gives you the what is it, the requirements needed.
Yeah.
So I don't know, could be wrong, but
no, I mean, that sounds right. I mean, when you think about it, the motor is like right over the front axle on those things. And with what they're trying to do, they want as much weight forward as they can. So that's motor and trans. And then when you look at where they sit, like, I don't know how they see, first of all, because it's harder to see when you're like going uphill anyways. But like that cage, like around the motor and stuff, it's just huge. And I don't see how they can see around that thing. I mean, but somehow they do. But I mean, like your seating position and stuff, like you're kind of like down, sort of tucked back behind the motor and everything, all low like that, but it just creates a really weird looking chassis layout.
Interesting.
There's always like the one or two guys that have something built that's just crazy looking, like a fully independent rig or something that's like cab forward, but it's off to the side, like one of those big forklifts, it looks all funny. Seen some really strange builds, but for the most part, they're all kind of the same. Because they definitely don't resemble trucks.
Yeah. Sorry, I literally, this is the one thing I don't know. One pet peeve, I'll go on a little random rant. I can't stand people who like don't say a word about anything and then you find out that they jumped ship on their new post. It's like
jump ship.
Sorry, whatchamacallits, a guy on the MKS team is no longer with us.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, dude, you don't even like say anything.
It's because they're chicken.
Well, the thing is,
it's uncomfortable. Confrontation's uncomfortable.
But I honestly thought like some of the people that do this, it's like I actually thought they had a little more
nuts.
Yeah.
No. The answer is no, they don't.
So whatever.
Well, I mean,
whatever.
Everybody breaks up over text message now, so I mean, RC shouldn't be much different.
Yeah, no shit. It's just now I got to get a hold of
divorce lawyer because Michelle's leaving you.
No.
Oh.
Now I gotta get a hold of Thomas.
Oh.
Because I gotta have him remove his account from
Get his shit off your lawn.
Yep. Get your shit off my lawn.
He's not part of the cool kids club anymore.
No, not at all. But yeah, I don't know. Just that's one thing that just kind of bugs me, especially when like I took the time to like reach out to like everybody. Like I really was trying to do my part this year and like reach out to everybody in the, in the group and was kind of like, hey, is everybody okay? Is everybody, everything's great. And then all of a sudden you find this out and you're like, dude, I don't know.
I feel like this bothers you.
It does bother me only because it's like I give you the floor to say something and you don't even say anything. But whatever. So
I'm surprised most RC guys do like a big fancy press release.
Well, he did.
Oh,
figures. Yeah, that's what he did. He just said, let Adam know first.
You ever wonder, like, some of these body companies, like Killer Speed, or let's see, Killer Body or Extra Speed, I think it is, like, they survive just making odds and ends. Like, is that enough? Like, what else do they do? You know what I mean? Like, because everything that they have is super expensive tooling, but you don't see anybody using any of it. Like, I don't know anybody who has an Extra Speed or a Killer Body brand body. It's like, how do they stay afloat? How do they afford the molds and stuff?
I have no idea.
Travis probably knows.
Travis knows everything.
He does.
No,
He's been really quiet tonight.
Yeah, I've been working. I've been writing purchase orders and listening.
Travis bought a car.
I did buy a car, yeah.
A new car?
I did, yeah. Well, newish.
What'd you get?
I got a 2017 Honda Civic.
Nice. That thing will run forever.
Exactly. That's why I bought it.
That's like the first thing everybody says.
Yeah, that was exactly it, because it'll outlive my car.
Dude, that's way better than, oh, well, how are the lifters in that? It's right. Like, I'd much rather hear like, oh, good job, not like, oh, did you look into that?
Right, exactly. So, yeah, that was exciting. I'm going to go pick it up this week and
do burnouts, flip off the cops.
Yeah.
Drive-by shootings.
There will be some small stoplight peeling out. I got to give the turbo some fun.
If it will, I was only able to get your Focus to peel out one time, and
that's
it was
because
super
the clutch
delayed.
Doesn't work.
James Ecker was with me, and it's at this stop sign that he always lights him up at in his Duster that he has, his drag car. And so we're doing something in Burlington. I can't remember what, but I picked him up and I had your car, and like, it's a pretty quiet neighborhood, you know, and so it's constructed so perfectly that kind of like all of the corners of each block look the same. And so I went to like go pull out, and I saw that there was a car coming. Like, I thought it was stopped. I thought it was a 4-way, and it wasn't. And so I had to stomp on it, and like it kind of did like a little like, and then took off and chirped the tires, and that was really about it.
That's what happens. Yeah. So you floor it, and then it goes, and then you give a couple seconds for the clutch to engage, and then when the clutch engages, then you can't stop spinning it.
It's poor man's launch control.
You basically, well, yeah, except the problem is you don't launch. You just go from not moving the tires to moving them too much to where you can't get going again all the time.
Well, it was one of those things too, where like you ever go to do something and you're like, don't fully commit. So you like start to and then stop and then start to again. And it just ends up looking like this really bad comedy act. Like,
well, see,
it was one of those things.
I don't have that problem because it never gets the going part. So like, I kind of just tap my brakes a couple times really is what happens. So yeah, I'm excited to, see that going away.
Did you get a stick or automatic?
I got an automatic, but it's one of those CVT transmissions, the continuous velocity or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Get no shift.
Different time, but I saw a really funny post today. I'll have to find it so I can send it. But someone was talking about how sick a manual CVT would be. I was like, yeah, that sounds miserable.
You put it in drive and just hammer it.
Yeah, they're like,
that's pretty much how it works.
Imagine just continue. Yeah, just endless gear ratios.
So he does shift forever.
I gotta find this, but
dude, from the time you take off to where you stop, it's just one big long shift. God, that's funny.
Yeah. So. But yeah, so that should be fun. So I'll get it this week and have some.
You guys want to learn a science thing?
Learn a science thing?
Yeah. So I saw a guy posted in one of the CEN. Still don't know how to say the name of that place, but anyways, that manufacturer. In the CEN group, a guy had some stock wheels, and he was asking if anybody there could powder coat his plastic wheels for him.
Really?
Yeah. So my first inclination was you can't powder coat plastic. So I look it up, and you actually can. However, it's got to be a plastic that can stand up to 400 degrees. So I learned something new. You can powder coat other things besides metal. It just has to be able to handle the heat. Did not know that.
Interesting. I did not know that either, because I was like, you're sitting there going, oh yeah, can you powder coat these?
Well, why the hell wouldn't you just spray paint them though? Like, why are you going to powder coat a set of plastic wheels that like the acetone took the paint off of when he took the tires off of them? And so he's like, I want to get these powder coated. It's like, dude, get a fucking spray paint can and just shoot them black and call it good. Whatever it is you're going to do. Like, why would you go to the trouble and expense of trying to do that? Like, it's not a real car. Spray paint will be okay.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I thought I was all, this guy doesn't know you can't powder coat plastic. No, you can.
No, see, I'm with you. I would have been like, dumbass.
Yeah, pretty neat. So yeah, I learned something new. I thought that was kind of cool. You know what else I found? So CA glue, I really don't like any of the bottles that they come in, because like I have a brand new thing of factory team thin, and like you can't hardly even get the lid open to it. And I think I've used it twice. I started buying Starbond, which they do a lot of like marine stuff. I buy Starbond CA, and they still have like thick, thin, and medium and all that stuff. But they actually have a CA glue that it's rubber reinforced.
Huh.
Kind of makes you wonder, like, I wonder how that would work on Lexan or some of this other stuff. But a rubber CA, super strange.
I'm looking at the stuff that he sent in the.
Me too. Pick related how it would work. Oh, you'll have to post that, Trap.
Oh,
to make your ratios. Oh my god!
Just gotta keep shifting. I can't stop.
Still have a connection to the car. Oh, that's one of the best things I've ever seen. It's easier to rev match, easier to drive in traffic. Oh my god, that was wonderful. I love the crudely drawn picture.
I know.
That's what did it. And the fact that the dude's smiling because he's just happily shifting away.
Shifting forever. Yeah.
Dude, Michael Tickle would have loved that from high school. Oh, gosh. I told you guys about that story about the special ed kid that shifted everywhere he went. This is one of our really early shows, but...
Oh, I think I missed that.
It was like that car was made just for him. No, he's a special ed kid, and he always dressed real nice every day like a cowboy or something, so his parents are probably, like ranchers or something like that. But his name was Michael Tickle, and he wouldn't just walk somewhere. Everywhere he would go, he was driving and making motor sounds and shifting.
Badass.
So he's just, walking down the hall, shifting gears, making engine sounds and stuff, and sometimes he'd grind gears, but that was just his thing. That was what he did, and man, like this whole manual CVT would be just right up his alley.
That's pretty
Never
awesome.
stop shifting. Oh man.
I guess we gave everyone a little bit of entertainment tonight.
This is just story time.
Yeah, story time episode. Yeah, I mean, things have happened since we recorded last, but things coming up, with Dad, but also we've just been busy as hell. I've been heads down for like weeks on just trying to get stuff out and released, and we're getting really close, so.
We're going to an event, Adam.
Oh, yeah.
What event are we going to?
We're going to Dead Man's Crawl at Horseman's Park into May.
Nice.
So we're all excited. Now it's trying to figure out what we're actually going to take down there.
RC cars?
Yeah, but like what though? I need to look at more pictures of the terrain. Like supposedly there's everything from trails to like technical crawling, but the problem is picking which rig to go.
Yeah, I think we need one with trailing arms, and then one that can have the full new thing on it.
Yeah.
And then after that, I guess we can have a third one for whatever. If we want to just take 3 or something.
I could probably make it through the airport and stuff pretty easily with my moon buggy on my backpack.
Yeah.
Because it's little and it's not fragile, like something with mirrors and stuff. I could probably get away with that.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna have to think about this. At the same time, too, I would like to do a lot of media that trip. So, I don't know. We need to think about this a bit. It was easier when I was flying for racing because I could just disassemble the whole car and reassemble it there.
This is trying to travel with some relatively fragile things.
If anybody I know a couple people flew out to USTE. I would love to hear what you guys did.
Yeah, with batteries, everything. Like, give us the whole rundown.
Yeah, the batteries are the easy part.
Okay,
just bring it with you. But I always put them in a Ziploc in my backpack.
Okay,
is what I did. And yeah,
think I've got like 2 lipo bags, so we're good there.
Oh yeah, flame-proof bags probably help. At the same time, I don't know. You may not want to tip them off to them either.
Oh yeah, good point.
So yeah, I
really good point actually.
yeah. So I think the Ziploc is okay. Like, that always worked fine for me.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I mean,
Maybe 2 cars and clothing in an OGIO bag, and that's probably about all we could fit.
yeah, and it'll just be a matter of how we pack the package. The bodies are the big concern.
Yeah, like because I was thinking about the green Tacoma, and it's like, well, I could take that, but like the camper on it and stuff, it's all fragile, and on top of that, it's all PLA. So if it's somewhere really hot, it could get jacked up.
How well does that stuff come apart?
Easy. I mean, like right now, the way so the camper on it is held to the body right now. You just open the rear door to it, and I've got a binder clip inside just pinching the top of the bed and top of the body together. I cut a little slot to fit the binder clip in, but I mean, that camper I would almost put in like a cardboard box and tape it up and put it in there. I don't know. I mean, the other thing too is like, is that even going to be fun to drive down there though?
Well, right, because we're not going to have a
straight up trail truck, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, we're not going to have
So, I mean, am I going to be stuck with a car that I'm going to, you know, it's 4.19s and I'm picking it up all day because it's got it's all dollhoused out.
Yeah.
Like,
you could always just remove the camper for that trip too.
Yeah, it just doesn't look as cool. Then it's just kind of a truck, but
yeah, I suppose. But
I think maybe Gatekeepers or Ectos are the way to go.
I feel like the Gatekeeper we should do.
Because they can go fast, they're fun. So I could do, because that would be fun for trail or crawling. It'll do both, especially the Ecto. The Ecto would be a really, really good one.
Yeah, we had the Ecto down there last year, though.
That was it by the fire.
Oh, that wasn't? Oh, okay. Well, I guess that doesn't matter then.
It's not going to be that way much longer, though. It'll be something different pretty quick here. So...
yeah, we should probably think, though, a bit about how...
because we're going to have a couple things, too, that are going to be really popular coming up that people might want to see in person also.
I thought you were selling the green Tacoma.
Dude, that was the first. I opened my phone up, opened Facebook up on my phone, and that was the very first thing I saw.
The algorithm is trying to warn you.
Dude, and not only that, like, there was a guy that was like, hey, good thing you said something. He's deployed overseas and was like in negotiation with him when he saw me post that comment about the truck being mine. Like, that much of a close call.
Wow.
Brutal.
Some people.
But why would you choose such a well-known rig?
Hey, I've seen.
You just didn't know. I mean,
it just has to happen once.
Yeah,
because they maybe it's worked before and they used somebody something like really popular like that before, and they were like, oh, this worked before, I'll do it again.
Mm-hmm.
So shitty.
It happened to Elio once.
Really?
I don't know how long ago this was. Maybe we're probably talking 4 or 5 years ago now. But I think he just finished the one that he called Big Toe, the big 6x6 wrecker, and he took it out, ran it a couple times, and there was some guy posted up in one of the pages, and I forget what his name was, but his profile picture was that truck. And we're like, the hell? And he was like, and then he posted all of Elio's progress pics, and he was saying straight up
whoa, really? Just
finished building this, all this stuff, right? And I forget who saw it first and totally put him on blast in the middle of the thing and was like, really? Because I'm buddies with Elio, and I'm pretty sure he built that. And he's like, oh, and he tried to defend it for a while. And he was like, no, Like and then all of a sudden the guy just like disappeared. But when you went on his actual like profile, he had like there was no picture of himself. They were all like different vehicles. So we're like, how many of those are just people's builds that he just saw and he's just running with it?
Well, I saw in the good list, bad list thing for RC that this guy has done the exact same thing before. It's like,
that's what I'm saying.
How is he still around? Like, I mean, I get what you're saying. It's only got to work one time, but I mean, man, it's a very strange feeling though. Like, I don't know. It was one of the most unexpected things that's happened to me in a long time, because I just I tried, just me being me, I kind of tried to like give the guy the benefit of the doubt at first, so I'm like looking at it, I was like, well, I have sold a couple of those stripe kits, so maybe it's a customer's rig. And then I looked at the wheels and looked at the scale hardware and stuff. I was like, dude, that's 100% my truck. And then of course I saw our banner and then the shovel in the background. But all this is happening within the span of like 10 seconds as I'm trying to process like what the hell's going on here, and so then it's like, well, what do I say? How do I put a stop to this? Like, it was just a really weird situation.
Yep.
I think being able to hold the truck in my hand and show everything that's in the background of his pictures was probably like the easiest way to go about it and not deal with him trying to fight it or defend it or whatever.
Yeah.
I hope that guy is done, though. I hope he's burnt in RC and never messes with anybody ever again.
You'd be surprised.
I don't understand that whole like mindset of like, I'm gonna take this person's money. They, like, how do you justify that? Like, they deserve it. Like, I mean, how does that conversation go? It's just so messed up.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like I said, you'd be surprised. I have a story I'll tell you guys, but I can't say it on the podcast. Only because it has to do with work and companies, and I don't want to.
Oh yeah.
I can't say anything.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's pretty. Yeah. You'd be surprised at what some people try to do. It's a joke. And this is bigger than RC. That's what I'm saying. This is like work related. Oh, and you're like, are you serious?
Well, we had a guy that was working for us. He was the general for residential contracting, and he was taking our payroll checks and out of the filing cabinet after hours and filling them out and depositing them. Wow. So we caught that pretty easily, as you could imagine. But yeah, he wrote himself like $30,000 worth of checks from our with stolen checks from the file cabinet.
We were at 7-Eleven the other day. We go to this one because we know we're kind of like friendly with the guy, that works there. He's been there for like a little over a year and a half. So he always says what's up to us when we're in there. And he tells us different stories and stuff. And it was like rush hour and there was all these people. And I guess he was showing us, he goes, oh, my boss is going to have my ass for this. And we're like, what's the matter? And he's like, look at this. And he slams it on the counter. Dude, it was, I'm not kidding. It was a photocopied $100 bill.
Whoa.
And the guy like tried to crinkle it up to make it look like it was like real, like, give it that like, paper, like, and he was like, and he was trying to like keep the line going. So, so the guy's like, can I, whatever, I guess buy whatever. And he set it down and he's over helping somebody else. He comes back, picks it up, didn't even really check it. Just kind of like looked at it, whatever, threw it back in the thing, was doing whatever, gave him his change. And I guess the guy left. And then it was one of those things he said, he goes, all of a sudden it just clicked. I was like, that bill looked funky. And he went back and he pulled it out and he goes, oh, son of a bitch. And he's like, and yeah, he was like, my boss is going to kill me. And I'm like, and I'm looking at it, I'm going, dude, like they straight up photocopied this. Like they used their printer. Like this isn't even like they attempted to do anything. I mean, like this is like the piss poor, like,
and it
like
worked.
And well, like I said, because he got him when it was busy. Now, if he would have walked in,
most people are, when there's a line and everything, they're just trying to crank through it and get on to the next person. I mean, they're not going to sit there and scrutinize it because people get pissed. And wow, dude, that's wild.
So, I mean, yeah, I couldn't believe it. I mean, like, I'm like, well, it's funny too, because it wasn't like he photocopied, like, the older ones where it didn't have that blue strip on it and it wasn't colored. Like, no, this was the colored one with the blue strip. I'm like, first off, the blue strip kind of like glistens, like, so you can't really like photocopying it's not going to get the glistening effect. Like, yeah. I don't know how these people just think like, oh yeah, this is passable, let's do it. But it worked.
On top of that, I mean, most of the time, like, you try and pass a fake bill, like, that's a trip straight to jail.
Yeah.
Like, you don't really get the opportunity to talk your way out of that.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's crazy.
But whatever. Yeah, like I said, some people they're ballsy. They'll try, all kinds of stuff. There was a video floating around, and would actually kind of like, I don't know. I guess you could say like kind of was like scary-ish because it was like close to home. Was down in South Bay. I want to say got to be around like San Jose-ish, maybe even a little farther. There was a guy, he straight up, so I guess he didn't realize there was somebody like, resting or taking a nap in their car because, the thing was tinted or whatever. And he walks up and he opens the guy's gas tank, sticks a hose in it and starts siphoning gas. And the guy shoots out of his car and he goes, seriously? And the guy like kind of comes to stop. Sorry, man. Didn't realize anyone was in the car. And he's like, does that make a difference? He's like, and I'm like, okay, this dude's wearing a San Jose Sharks sweatshirt, so obviously he's got to be somewhat close to my area. And I'm like, and the guy, like, he had like no words. He just like no shame, like just was like, sorry, dude, didn't realize you were in the car. And he's like, and that makes a difference. He goes, well, I need to borrow gas to get to work. He goes, no, that's not borrowing gas. What, are you gonna come back and put more back in my car later? No, you're stealing. And I was like, some people, like I said, they have no shame.
That's so gnarly.
Yeah, I got to find that video.
I've been thinking about getting like a locking gas cap just for that reason.
Well, it's funny. When I first got my Duramax, I was like, I need to get a locking gas cap for this thing because, even back then, diesel was $325-ish, like low threes. And I was like, kind of like, yeah. I still don't want people stealing it. But at the time, the truck was so new, they didn't have one. I should look to see if they got one now.
I didn't even look up to see if I can get one. I'm sure you can. But.
Oh, for your F-150? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my 94's got one because that thing sits out on the street. But... yeah.
RC, did we talk about the Trailfinder 3? We did, didn't we? A couple episodes back.
We
didn't?
Kind of talked about it, yeah.
Supposedly it's not great. I've heard a lot of upset people.
I've heard a lot of upset people too.
I guess Scale Builders Guild had a video of it, and it was not completely kind. Guess it's got some issues, from what I understand.
Huh.
Yes, same here. I mean, I think it was funny. So what's his name? Scale Builders Guild did a video on it, and he said what we always kind of talk about. He goes, yeah, and it comes with a bumper to go over your bumper.
Yep.
How? And I'm like, oh, so somebody else actually doesn't like that either.
Yep. That's funny. Yeah, the bumpers are crazy. I see that a lot. I see that a lot with the Lexion Proline SR5 pickup body.
Yep.
trying to answer some questions here. Why?
No, I'm reading some. There's a couple funny memes that just popped up because I was scrolling through. This is like right up my alley.
I mean, we can. I mean, if we don't have anything else, we can probably think about calling it too, because it's getting kind of late here. But
Yeah, that's true.
then next week we can get an episode with questions and everything, since we should be back rolling again as normal.
Yeah. I'll get this other one edited and put up really quick.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, sorry it might not have been that entertaining this week, but well, I mean, it might have been entertaining, just not probably what you were expecting. But
It's fun. We're good to catch up.
we never know
Yeah,
what you're expecting,
true.
anyways.
That's true. If you come into having certain expectations, then 102 episodes now, it's kind of your fault.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, guys. We'll see you.
See you.
Later.